Alright, so check this out. This is the Las Vegas Strip. You can see that's the Luxor right there, and MGM Grand. That's Delano right there, this yellow building. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because this week I'm here for Microsoft Inspire 2018. And looking at the Vegas Strip made me think of one thing, and just bear with, let me take you, just check this out. So there's plenty of ways to enjoy Vegas. Obviously you can, like I said, go to the Strip. You can attend a conference, as you can see at the conference center. Hold on one second, let me show you this side, because this is another way to enjoy Vegas. Here you can see there's a nice pool. It's a wave pool, and there's Lazy River down there and all that stuff. And that's the massive convention center where Microsoft Inspire is happening. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because, again, there's a ton of ways to enjoy Vegas. If you like gambling, for sure, there's obviously plenty of ways to do that. If you like going to shows, there's a ton of great attractions here in Vegas. Or if you like food, tons and tons of different restaurants. Whatever you want to eat, I'm sure you can find something great here in Vegas. And that made me think of a tip for our 2-Minute Tuesday. So let's start the countdown and let's go. One of the things that is interesting about Dynamics 365 is that when we design solutions for Dynamics, we typically do it thinking about the web client first. We're thinking about the web client being the main way in which users access data and functionality in Dynamics 365. However, there are so many different ways to access data and functionality that we have to think about during the architecture process. As we come up with the design of our solution, we have to think about all these other different ways in which we can grant access to functionality and to data for users. In addition to the web client, we have the mobile client, the Outlook client, Power BI, Power Apps, task flows through the mobile app, Unified Service Desk. Depending on what kind of project you're doing, there's a ton of different ways to provide access to information. So you should always think about, well, how do I want my users to access and consume this information and this functionality? Now, we'll dive into a lot more details on episode 34 of the CRM MVP podcast. So tune into that to get more details of it. But again, the tip for this week is don't just lead with the web client in mind and then sort of let the other ways to access information fall as secondary or as an afterthought. Think about those ways as you plan your solution, and I hope we see you next week for another tip.